Hello there, I'm Shaun McLaren, and today we have some mono blue action. You may think you blew it by clicking on this video, and you did. You mono blew it. Anyways, so mono blue. This is the conclusion of our in-depth study of all the monocolored decks in Modern. We didn't play Merfolk because, Merfolk is already a deck. This mono blue deck isn't as much of a deck as Merfolk, so we're gonna go with this. So the main appeal of this mono blue deck, well, I don't know what the main appeal is, but you get to play some good blue cards. And Mutavaults is sort of your benefit for going mono blue. So you get islands, a low land count, and some Mutavaults. So you have a good mana base. The deck is kind of split between being tempo and control. I kind of prefer to draw cards rather than not. So it's possible this deck should be more tempo oriented and have less things like cryptic commands and ancestral visions, but right now it's sort of a merge between a mono blue control and mono blue tempo, which may overall hurt it, but I gotta be true to myself. So we have the ancestrals, good late game, good turn 2 play, good in the grindy matchups. We have cryptics, which you can say the same pretty much about them. Great with Snapcaster Mage, great top end to the deck. Can potentially close out games by tapping down their creatures. For example, you flip Thing in the Ice, hit them with it, and then tap down with Cryptic Command to close out the game. So Delver, is a great turn 1 play. There's plenty of stuff to flip it, and there's Serum Visions to help set up flipping it. It's just more a good card rather than what this deck is about. It's just like Delver is a good card. What do you know? So we have Probes for flipping Thing in the Ices, and good with Snapcaster Mage as well. Serum Visions for card draw. Set up Delver flips, keep the Thing in the Ices and the Snapcasters fed. Sleight in the Hand. Sleight in the Hand is worth 2 in the library. Sleight of Hand is basically just a worse Serum Visions. Spell Snares for interaction. Vapor Snag is just going to be removal, since we don't have access to great removal since we're mono blue. I also like Dismember, which is technically not a blue card, but close enough. And the reason why we're running Dark Slick Shores is so we can cast Dismembers some of the time without paying 4 life. So Remands are going to be good if we have a tempo start, good with Thing in the Ice, since they remove a counter and draw you a card. Snapcaster Mages for value, and Snapcaster Mage is great. Think Twice is kind of also just filler in the deck. Gonna be good to trigger Thing in the Ice. Can cast it essentially as 2 spells for the price of 1, and draws you cards. Deprive, a hard counter just randomly thrown in. Cliques are going to serve as disruption and complement Delver for the tempo games. Disrupting Shoals for disruption, as the name would imply. Just being able to interact with Disrupting Shoal. There's a reason why you don't see Disrupting Shoal that often. It's card disadvantage, but there's plenty of card draw in this deck to make up for it, so we're willing to give up a bit of we're willing to give up our cards to deal with important spells some of the time, and it's not that bad hardcast. And then repeals, just a little bit more creature removal, also great with Snapcaster Mage, repealing your Snapcaster Mage and going off with Snapcaster Mage. As for the sideboard, Dispel, Spell Pierce, a little bit of cheap interaction. Triple Hurkyl's Recall for the artifact decks. Mono Blue doesn't have great sideboard cards against Modern, so we're like, instead of Stony Silence we have Hurkyl's Recall, which isn't quite as good but can still get the job done, and great with Snapcaster Mage. Negate, a hard counter and great against combo decks. Spellskite, we're actually going to get to activate Spellskite with blue mana here, which is pretty good. Great against Infect, Burn, Death Shadow, that sort of thing. Jace Beleren, we're trying out to draw cards, obviously. Just a reoccurring source of card advantage. If the board is clear and we drop Jace, we can start drawing some cards. Threads of Disloyalty, the key to winning Pro Tours and stealing Tarmogoyfs. Dismembers are going to be for problem creatures like Tarmogoyf, Gwynflayers, etc. I mean, the life loss is very relevant in a lot of matchups, but we kind of have to make do because it is good removal that we're sorely lacking otherwise. Shackles isn't in a great spot right now in Modern, but I mean, Shackles is a great card. I mean, look at this guy. Look at how sad he is. Commandeer, just so we can live the dream. I mean, commandeering a Karn or a Cathartic Reunion, I'd settle for an Ugin. I'd settle for anything, really. Anything that isn't a complete loss of value, because that's usually what Commandeer is. But I mean, we're mono blue. We have to be running a Commandeer. Otherwise, what is even the point of existing and being mono blue? Alright, I think that's it. So let's play some games.